Now in this video I am going to discuss about the grouping of capacitors. How are the capacitors are grouped to get the equivalent values. Now see, capacitance may be combined in parallel or series to give equivalent values, which may be either the sum of the individual values that is in parallel, or a value less than that of the smallest capacitance in bracket in series. Here I am giving you the two figures. The picture shows the parallel and series connections. Now, two units used in this measurement of capacitance are the farad and the coulomb. As previously defined, the farad is the amount of capacitance present in a capacitor when 1 coulomb of electrical energy is stored on the plates and 1 volt is applied across the capacitor. 1 coulomb is the electrical charge of 6.28 billion electrons. From these it can be seen that C, which is in farads, can be written as equal to Q by E. Q means in coulomb and E is in volt. Let us find how the capacitors gives the value lesser than those joined in parallel. So first of all we will go for the capacitor in series. Now there is a figure, you go through it. Figure shows the method of connecting three capacitors of capacitances C1, C2 and C3 in series. When charge plus Q is given to plate A of the capacitor C1, it induces charge minus Q on left face and plus Q on right face of the plate B. Thus, plate C of the capacitor C2 also gets charge plus Q on it. Then in induced charge minus Q on left face of plate D and charge plus Q on plate E of the capacitor C3. The charge plus Q on plate E induces charge minus Q on left face of plate F, while the charge plus Q induced on its right face flows to earth. Thus, the three capacitors get charged with same amount of charge plus Q when charge plus Q is given to the first capacitor. Now let V1, V2 and V3 be potential differences across the plates of the three capacitors. If V is the potential difference across the series combination, then V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. From the definition of capacitance, V1 equals to Q by C1, V2 equals to Q by C2 and V3 equals to Q by C3. So we will add this V1, V2 plus V3. We have an equivalent value that is called V equals to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. We will put as Q as a common and in bracket 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. This is equation number 36 of the chapter capacitor. Now let's see with the equivalent capacitor of the series combination. Therefore, when a potential difference V is applied across a capacitor of capacitance C, it will also subtract the same amount of charge. Hence, V equals to Q upon C. From the equation, so this was the equation number 37. Now, from the equation 36 and 37, we have Q upon C equals to Q in bracket 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Or we can write like that, 1 by C equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Thus, the reciprocal of the resultant, or in bracket equivalent capacitance of the series combination of a number of capacitors is equal to the sum of the reciprocal of the capacitance of individual capacitors. The figure which I had given you earlier, in that A of the figure, E the same for all the capacitors, the total charge Q1 is the sum of the individual charges Q1, Q2 and Q3. Using the basic equation for the capacitor, C equals to Q by E. The total charge is Q1 equals to C1E, where C1 is the total capacitance. Since the total charge on capacitors is parallel, is the sum of the individual capacitor charges Q1 equals to Q1 Q plus Q2 plus Q3. Using both equations for total charge, develops the equation C1E equals to CIE equals to C1E plus C2E plus C3. Dividing both sides of the equation by E gives C1 equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. This formula is used to determine the total capacitance of any number of capacitors in parallel. In the series arrangement, the figure B of that figure, the current is same in all parts of the of the circuit. Each capacitor develops a voltage during charge, and the sum of the voltage of all the capacitors must equal the applied voltage E. By the capacitor equation, the applied voltage E is equal to the total charge divided by the total capacitor, or E equals to QF by CI. The total charge QF is equal to the charge on any one of the capacitors, because the same current flows in all for the same length of time, and because the charge equals the current multiplied by time in seconds, that is QI equals to I into T. Therefore, KF equals to Q1 plus equals to Q2 equals to Q3. And since the circuit with capacitor in series, E1 equals to E1 plus EF equals to E1 plus E2 plus E3, where E1, E2 and E3 are the voltages of the three capacitors. Now, QF by CF equals to Q1 by C1 plus Q2 by C2 plus QF by C1 equals to QF by C1 plus QF by C2 plus QF by C3. Dividing both sides of the equation by QF gives 1 by C1 equals to 1 by CF equals to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. The reciprocal of the total capacitance of any number of capacitors in series is equal to the sum of the reciprocal of the individual values. Parallel capacitors combined by a rule similar to that used to combine resistors in series. Series capacitor combined by a rule similar to that of combining parallel resistors. In the series arrangement of two capacitors C1 and C2, the total capacitance is given by the equation CF equals to C1 into C2 by C1 by C1 plus C2. In other words, you can go for like this also, that the method of connecting three capacitors of capacitance C1, C2 and C3 in parallel. One plate of each capacitor is connected to the source of EMF and the other to the earth. In this manner, all the capacitors are directly connected between the source of EMF and the earth, and thus possesses the same potential difference across their plates. As the capacitors have different capacitance, they will draw different amounts of charge from the source of EMF. If Q1, Q2 and Q3 are the values of the charges on the capacitors C1, C2 and C3 respectively, and V is the potential difference across the parallel combination, then Q1 equals to C1V, Q2 equals to C2V and Q3 equals to C3V. Total charge on the parallel combination of the capacitor Q equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 to C1V plus C2V plus C3V, or Q equals to, in bracket we will put C1 plus C2 plus C3 multiplied by V. C equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. This is equation number 41. Earlier which I had said Q equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3 into V, it was equation number 39. Then after came Q equals to C multiplied by V, it was equation number 40. Thus the resultant equivalent capacitance of the parallel combination of a number of capacitors is equal to the sum of the capacitances of the individual capacitors. Now there is a problem related to this topic. What is the effective capacitance of two conductors of capacitance 3 microfarad and 4 microfarad when connected, number 1 in series and number 2 in parallel? So we have to find in series and then in parallel. So answer is here C1 is equals to 3 microfarad and C2 equals to 4 microfarad. So we know that in series the formula is 1 by Cn equals to 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4. So solving this we get the value 7 by 12, or Cn equals to 12 by 7 microfarad. In parallel we will just add Cp equals to 3 plus 4 equals to 7 microfarad. Wherever I have written Cn, it is not Cn actually, it's Cs. S denotes the series and P denotes the parallel. Voltage rating of capacitors. In selecting or substituting a capacitor for use in a particular circuit, the following must be considered. Number 1, the value of capacitance desired, and number 2, the amount of voltage to which the capacitor is to be subjected. If the voltage applied across the plates is too great, the dielectric will break down and arcing will occur between the plates. The capacitor is then short circuited and the possible flow of direct current through it can cause damage to other parts of the equipment. Capacitors have a voltage rating then that should not be exceeded. The working voltage of the capacitor is the maximum voltage that can be steadily applied without danger of arc over. The working voltage depends on number 1, the type of material used as the dielectric, and number 2, the thickness of the dielectric. The voltage rating of the capacitor is a factor in determining the capacitance because capacitance decreases as the thickness of the dielectric increases. A high voltage capacitor that has a thick dielectric must have a large plate area in order to have the same capacitance as a similar low voltage capacitor having a thin dielectric. The strength of some commonly used dielectric materials is listed in this figure. The voltage rating also depends on frequency because the losses and the resultant heating effect increases as the frequency increases. A capacitor that can be safely charged to 500 volt DC cannot be safely subjected to AC or pulsating DC whose effective values are 500 volts. An alternating voltage of 500 volts, that is in bracket RMS, has a peak voltage of 707 volt, and a capacitor to which it is applied should have a working voltage of at least 750 volts. The capacitor should be selected so that its working voltage is at least 50% greater than the highest voltage to be applied to it. Energy is stored in a charged capacitor. If we connect a battery across the two plates of the capacitor, the work is done or in bracket or energy is supplied by the battery in charging the capacitor. As the capacitor charges, potential difference across its plates increases. More and more work has to be done by the battery in delivering the same amount of charge to the capacitor due to continuously increasing potential difference across its plates. In charging a capacitor is stored in the capacitor in the form of electric energy. Consider a capacitor of capacitance C. Suppose that the capacitor does not possess any charge initially on being connected to a battery. Suppose that it charges to a potential capital V after some time. If a small q is charged on the plate of the capacitor at that time, then small q equals to C into V. Suppose that battery supplies an infinitesimally small amount of charge dq to the capacitor at constant potential capital V, then according to the definition of potential difference, the small amount of work done by the battery is given by dW equals to VdQ, which is equals to Q upon by C into dQ, since V equals to Q upon C. Therefore, amount of work done in delivering charge Q to the capacitor is given by W equals to integration sign. The lower limit is 0 and upper limit is Q, that is Q upon C dQ. 1 by C integration sign again, 0 is the lower limit and Q is the upper limit, Q dQ. So 1 by C in the mod sign, Q square by 2, the mod sign closed, and the lower limit is 0 and the upper one is Q, which is equals to half Q square by C. This work done is stored inside the capacitor in the form of the electric potential energy. Therefore, energy is stored in the capacitor U equals to half Q square by C. This is equation number 42 of this chapter, capacitor. Now, substituting for Q in bracket is CV equals to CV, the equation 42 becomes U equals to half CV square by C, which is equals to U equals to half CV square. Substituting for C equals to QV, this is equation number 43. Now, substituting for C equals to Q by V, the equation 43 becomes U equals to half Q by V, V square, or U equals to half QV. This is equation number 44. Therefore, energy stored in a capacitor is given by U equals to half Q square by C equals to half CB square equals to half QV. Now, there is problem related to this, question related to this numerical. A capacitor of capacitance 50 microfarad is charged to a potential of 1000 volt. Calculate the energy stored in the capacitor. So, the answer of the solution of this problem is C equals to 50 microfarad, which can be written as 50 into 10 to the minus 6 farad, and V equals to 1000 volt. So, energy stored equals to U equals to half CV square, which is equals to half into 50 into 10 to the minus 6 into 1000 square, which is equals to 50 joule. Now, next topic is loss of energy on sharing charges by two capacitors. Consider two capacitors having capacitances C1, C2 and potential V1, V2 respectively. Then before the two capacitors are connected together, the total energy stored in the two capacitor U equals to U1 plus U2 equals to half C1 V1 square plus half C2 V2 square. When the two capacitors are connected together, total charge on the capacitor Q equals to Q1 plus Q2, which is equals to C1 V1 plus C2 V2. Total capacitance of the two capacitors C equals to C1 plus C2. Therefore, total energy of the two capacitors after they are connected, U dash equals to half Q square by C, which is equals to half multiplied by C1 V1 plus C2 V2 square, which is in bracket in the numerator side, and in the denominator we will put in bracket C1 plus C2. Now, U minus U dash we will get equal to half C1 V1 square plus half C2 V2 square minus half C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square in the numerator, and in denominator C1 plus C2. So, ultimately we get equal to C1 square V1 square plus C1 C2 V1 square plus C1 C2 V2 square plus C2 square V2 square minus, now in bracket C1 V1 plus C2 V2 in bracket close, Above that is a square which is equals to C1 C2. Now bracket we will put V1 square plus V2 square minus 2V1 V2 bracket close, and in denominator we will write 2C1 plus C2, which is the result is C1 C2 and V1 minus V2 in bracket over it is a square. Now denominator is 2 multiplied by C1 plus C2. So this is a positive quantity. Since U minus U dash is a positive quantity, there is always a loss of energy when two charged capacitors are connected together. Capacitance reactance. Capacitance, like inductance, offers opposition to the flow of current. This opposition is called capacitive reactance and is measured in ohms. The symbol for capacitive reactance is Xc. C is underneath X. Now the equation current equals to voltage by capacitive reactance, or I equals to E by Xc. In similar to Ohm's law and the equation to current in an inductive circuit, the greater the frequency, the less the reactance. Hence the capacitive reactance X equals to 1 by 2 pi F into C, where F equals to frequency in CPS, cycle per second, C equals to capacity in farads, 2 pi equals to 6.28. Now there is a problem related to this. Go for this. The series circuit is assumed in which the emerged voltage is 110 volts at 60 CPS and the capacitance of a condenser is 80 microfarad. Find the capacitive reactance and the current flow. So the solution of this, to find capacitive reactance, the equation Xc equals to 1 by 2 pi Fc is used. First the equation 80 microfarad is changed to farads by dividing 80 by 10 lakhs. Since 1 million microfarads is equal to 1 farad, this quotient equals to 0.000080 farad. This is substituted in the equation and Xc equals to 1 by 6.28 into 60 into 0.000080. So we get the value of Xc equals to 33.2 ohm reactance. Find the current flow. I equals to E upon Xc. So I equals to 110 upon 33.2, which is equals to 3.31 amperes. Now capacitive reactance in series and in parallel. When capacitors are connected in series, the total reactance is equal to the sum of the individual reactance. Thus Xct equals to Xc1 plus Xc2. The total reactance of capacitor connected in parallel is found in the same way. Total resistance is computed in a parallel circuit. Xc bracket close T equals to 1 by Xct plus 1 by Xc2 plus 1 by Xc3. Now phase of current and voltage in reactive circuits. When current and voltage pass through 0 and reach maximum value at the same time, the current and voltage are said to be in phase. For this I will be giving you a figure. If the current and voltage pass through 0 and reach the maximum values at different times, the current and voltage are said to be out of phase. In a circuit containing only inductance, the current reaches a maximum value later than the voltage, lagging the voltage of by 90 degree or 1/4 cycle, which is the figure B denotes. In a circuit containing only capacitor, the current reaches its maximum value ahead of the voltage and the current leads the voltage by 90 degree or 1/4 cycle. This is given in the figure C. The amount the current lags or leads the voltage in a circuit depends on the relative amounts of resistance, inductance and capacitance in the circuit. In this video I have tried to give you the best, but somehow there was some disturbances. Also actually the vehicle was crossing here and there. So try to find it and my words better, and if possible read in pausing the video, and make your voice make your mobile to in a lower in a higher volume, so that you can read through it, go through it.